So to begin, you're always going to start using the same process. You're going to go to New, and you're going to select a standard IPT. IPT is an Inventor part, so we always start with a part. Here's where your unit is going to be. We're going to use English units, which is going to be inches. Do a standard inch IPT, say Create. This will take you to your drawing screen. We'll start a 2D sketch. Now don't do a 3D sketch, that's something totally different. And then you have to choose a plane to start your sketch on. It doesn't matter which plane, choose any one. I'm going to choose the XY plane. And that'll show you a direct view at that plane. Now we are now in sketch mode, you know, because up here you see this check mark that says finish sketch. So once we're done creating our sketch and dimensioning our sketch, we'll finish it by using this tool. I'll start just by using the line tool. Now it's somewhat similar to AutoCAD. You don't have to turn the ortho mode on or object snap mode. Those are already on to some degree. Click to start drawing. You can draw anywhere you want. If you want to draw a straight line, if you use a little bit of care, it'll try to help you with that. And don't worry about the length of it right now. Let's just sketch the general shape, and that's a good way to proceed. And I'm going to try to make a rectangular shape. So I'll use a little bit of care here. Now notice as you're moving your line, it'll try to show you where the connection point is for that beginning point there. And I'll connect that together. Right click and say OK. So there's my general shape. Now notice the color of it is purple. Now it has no dimensions to it yet. So I'm going to use my dimension tool. And you can either click on the endpoints or you can just click on the line. And then that's how long it is right now, but I want to make it 4 inches long. So this is the parametric part. You draw the shape and then you add the dimensions after the fact. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Same thing for here. I want to make that 4 inches. Now notice how it's purple. Purple because it's not constrained. Constrained just means having controls over the line. So it's easy enough to constrain it just by dimensioning it back to the origin. And that's the software wants to know where the shape is relative to the origin. It's not critical that you have that, but it's a good way to be more efficient about your drawings and just arrange those dimensions. Now these dimensions don't really matter in terms of appearance. They're only for the sketch. Notice how everything is black because it's fully constrained. I'll finish the sketch now, and you'll see what I have here is just a flat drawing. And what I want to do is make that into a 3D model. To do that, I'll go up here to Extrude. Extrude is going to give it a three-dimensional volume. Now, because I only have one sketch so far, the software's figured out that that's the shape that I'm going to extrude. You'll notice the tools that you have are the direction. Do you want to go towards you or away from you? Do you want it to be symmetrical? And this will let you extrude it away from you and toward you with different values. Let's just extrude it toward us. And this will be the distance, which is going to be the thickness or the depth of the part. Let's make that 1.75 and say OK. And there is my, I'm just using the wheel to zoom it. If you hold down Shift, you can rotate as you move the wheel. So there is my 3D model that I've created. It's got a volume to it. Now if I wanted to do something different, for example, if I wanted to add another feature to this, hit 2D sketch again, click on the surface when you want to add a feature, and let's say I want to put a hole in the part, and just again sketch it. Don't worry about where it is or how big it is, just put the general shape on there. And then we'll use the dimension tool to call out the size of it. Let's make that 1.5, and then we'll call out the dimensions, the location of it using my dimension tool. And again, we're trying to get it fully constrained, so you know that the circle is turned black, so I have control over the size of that feature and where it's located. And then I'll go to my extrude. I'll finish the sketch and I'll go to the extrude tool again. Only this time I want to cut. So notice you have some options. One is to join, which would be to add more material. This would be to cut. In this case, I would be taking away material. These others, you almost never use these features here. Let's just focus on joining and cutting. So right now I want to cut, and I want it to go all the way through. So if this is a through all, here you could put in a distance. If I only wanted to go part way through with my hole, I could do that. I want it to go all the way through. You can also go up to another surface or to the next feature or next surface that you're going to encounter and say OK. So again, now I have a solid block that has a hole in it. It is a solid model, so you can see there's material inside of there. And then what you want to do is save that. So do a save as, and I'll just call this sample block 2, and I have a folder there for my Inventor files. And that is that.